Son of God, say my mind, and you don't die, give as you receive, and your release is Satan. This is the season 3, the episode number 13 in the series How to Manifest Immortality, and the name of this teaching is The Process of Illness. As all therapy is psychotherapy, so all illness is mental illness. It is a judgment on the Son of God, and judgment is mental activity. Judgment is a decision made again and again against creation and its creator. It is a decision to perceive the universe as you would have created it. It is a decision that truth can lie and must be lies. What then can illness be except an expression of sorrow and of guilt? And who could weep but for his innocence? Once God's Son is seen as guilty, illness becomes inevitable. It has been asked for and will be received. And all who ask for illness have now condemned themselves to seek for remedies that cannot help, because their faith is in the illness and not in salvation. There can be nothing that a change of mind cannot affect, for all external things are only shadows of a decision already made. Change the decision? And how can its shadow be unchanged? Illness can be but guilt's shadow, grotesque and ugly, since it mimics a deformity. If a deformity is seen as real, what could its shadow be except deformed? The descent into hell follows step by step in an inevitable course once the decision that guilt is real has been made. Sickness and death and misery now stalk the earth in unrelenting waves, sometimes together and sometimes in grim succession. Yet all these things, however real they may seem to be, are but illusions. Who could have faith in them once this is realized? And who could not have faith in them until he realizes this? Healing is therapy or correction, and we have said already, and will say again, all therapy, all therapy is psychotherapy. To heal the sick is but to bring this realization to them. The word cure has come into disrepute among the more respectable therapists of the world, and justly so, for not one of them can cure, and not one of them understands healing. At worst, they but make the body real in their own minds, and having done so, seek for magic by which to heal the ills with which their minds endow it. How could such a process cure? It is ridiculous from start to finish, yet having started, it must finish thus. It is as if God were the devil and must be found in evil. How could love be there? And how could sickness cure? Are not these both one question? At best, and the word is perhaps questionable here, the healers of the world may recognize the mind as the source of illness. But their error lies in the belief that it can cure itself. This has some merit in a world where degrees of error is a meaningful concept. Yet must their cures remain temporary until the meaning of love is understood. And who can understand this without the word of God given by Him to the Holy Spirit as His gift to you? Illness of any kind may be defined as the result of the view of the self as weak, vulnerable, evil, and endangered, and thus in need of constant defense. Yet if such were really the self, defense would be impossible. Therefore, the defenses sought for must be magical. They must overcome all limits perceived in the self, at the same time making a new self-concept into which the old one cannot return. In a word, error is accepted as real, and dealt with by illusions. Truth being brought to illusions, reality now becomes a threat and is perceived as evil. Love becomes feared because reality is love. Thus is the circle closed against the inroads of salvation. Illness is therefore a mistake and needs correction. And as we have already emphasized, correction cannot be achieved by first establishing the rightness of the mistake and then overlooking it. If illness is real, it cannot be overlooked in truth, for to overlook reality is insanity. Yet that is magic's purpose, to make illusions true through false perception. This cannot heal, for it opposes truth. Perhaps an illusion of health is substituted for a little while, but not for long. Fear cannot long be hidden by illusions, for it is part of them. It will escape and take another form, being the source of all illusions. Sickness is insanity because all sickness is mental illness, and in it there are no degrees. One of the illusions by which sickness is perceived as real is the belief that illness varies in intensity, that the degree of threat differs according to the form it takes. Herein lies the basis of all errors, for all of them are but attempts to compromise by saying just a little bit of hell. This is a mockery so alien to God that it must be forever inconceivable, but the insane believe it because they are insane. A madman will defend his own illusions because in them he sees his own salvation. Thus, he will attack the one who tries to save him from them, believing that he is attacking him. This curious circle of attack defense is one of the most difficult problems with which the psychotherapist must deal. In fact, this is his central task, the core of psychotherapy. The therapist is seen as one who is attacking the patient's most cherished possession, his picture of himself. And since this picture has become the patient's security as he perceives it, the therapist cannot but be seen as a real source of danger, be attacked, and even killed. The psychotherapist then has a tremendous responsibility. He must meet attack, and therefore without defense. It is his task to demonstrate that the defenses are not necessary and that defenselessness is strength. This must be his teaching if his lesson is to be that sanity is safe. It cannot be too strongly emphasized that the insane believe that sanity is threat. This is the corollary of the original sin, the belief that guilt is real and fully justified. It is therefore the psychotherapist's function to teach that guilt, being unreal, cannot be justified, but neither is it safe, and thus it must remain unwanted as well as unreal. Salvation's single doctrine is the goal of all therapy. Relieve the mind of the insane burden of guilt it carries so weighty, and healing is accomplished. The body is not good. It is merely recognized as what it is. Seen rightly, its purpose can be understood. What is the need for sickness then? Given this single shift, all else will follow. There is no need for complicated change. There is no need for long analysis and weighing discussions and pursuits. The truth is simple, being one for all. Things not good.